Our live Fox 23 severe weather team coverage continues in Fairfax with Fox 23's Rick Marinon. He walked the streets today, and Rick, you found one woman who watched as the tornado touched down right near her backyard.
Yeah, well, a lot of progress has been made as far as the cleanup, and there is still lots of debris out here. You have to remember that on both sides of downtown, about a block in and both east and west, is where people live. And I spoke with one woman who says she looked out her window and saw the whole thing. The wind was still blowing in Fairfax, but not like it was Sunday night.
The only siren that I did hear was my cell phone went off with a tornado warning.
Teresa Wilson-Colber went to a window to see the thunderstorm roll in, and she says she saw the tornado.
I was looking out my French doors, and I saw the tin start to fly through the air, and it hit those transformers like this, and then they just were sparking like fire. It was wild.
The National Weather Service confirms an EF0 tornado touched down right in front of her.
It bounced up, and then it bounced, and it looked like it bounced over on top of the hardware store.
Debris littered Brian Doyle's yard, but his house was spared.
We were actually all sitting in the living room when it hit, and we saw I saw the lights flickering, so I knew something was going on.
He lives just south of Teresa and tells me there were no sirens, but it didn't take much to figure out what was happening.
Been through several major storms since we've been here, nothing like this, but to come through every single one with little to no damage. I mean, the only thing that was damaged, you probably saw the cars on the side. Our church bus and my car was totaled. I feel very grateful.
Cleanup started almost immediately, and many hadn't slept yet. Both feel Fairfax can recover almost as fast as the tornado swept in.
Well, the town's not much to begin with. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but this is it. There's about 1,500 people live here. It'd have to be worse than this.
We should note that even though you see the contractors at work here on the commercial buildings, there has actually been a warning for residents to make sure that whoever you're using has been approved and bonded, and you can double check through the State Insurance Commission through that, because they've actually had to chase some people out of town who were neither insured or bonded, and they've actually told them to stay away and have put up warning signs so residents know who to use. Reporting live in Fairfax, covering news that matters, I'm Rick Marinon, Fox 23 News.
Good to know, Rick. And people living in Fairfax started cleaning up almost immediately after it stopped raining. And today, as the sun came up, they were able to see the full extent of the damage. Our severe weather team coverage continues with Fox 23's Rick Marinon, also live in Fairfax after talking with one man cleaning up tornado damage for the second year in a row. Rick.
Shay, if you wanted to know how small the world is, we ran into someone who illustrates that perfect story right there. Not everyone here who owns a business or property actually lives in Fairfax. In fact, the man down there where you see those blue and green dumpsters, the man who owns the property down there, says he was cleaning up tornado damage back in August 2017 in Midtown Tulsa.
I'm not kidding. It bounced up, and then it bounced, and it looked like it bounced over on top of the hardware store.
Teresa Wilson-Colber said she didn't need to wait for the National Weather Service to confirm an EF0 tornado. She saw the funnel herself. She says despite her front row seat, she's just relieved she doesn't have to do as much cleanup as so many others around her.
I was looking out my French doors, and I saw the tin start to fly through the air, and it hit those transformers like this, and then they just were sparking like fire. It was wild.
The damage difference is just a matter of feet. Across the street here, there is no damage at all, and here their neighbors have an entire roof right in their front yard.
I'm getting too old for this.
John Carlson actually lives in Tulsa near 41st and South Yale, the same 41st and South Yale that was hit by a tornado in August 2017.
Which way we going?
Now it's the same old song, but a different kind of dance on land he and his wife recently inherited in Fairfax.
The building, I think, just collapsed on top of everything.
John and his family were out trying to salvage anything they could find. The family plans to keep the land because of the memories, not of the pickle they've recently gotten in with severe weather,
Fresh cucumbers!
but the vegetable garden here still growing cucumbers decades later.
It took my wife 10 years to convince me to get a storm shelter, and I finally did, but haven't had to use it yet.
And this is the most action you've seen?
Yep, this is it. This is it.
Now, as for the cleanup, this is pretty much all that's left is the small stuff. When it comes to the big things, all of these are licensed and insured contractors. In fact, police had to ask a few people to leave because they were considered scam artists because they weren't licensed or bonded. So these residents are all on the lookout for legit businesses while they make these cleanups. Reporting live in Fairfax, covering news that matters, I'm Rick Marin on Fox 23 News.
Well,